Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel Dan Heiser. My name's Dan, PDGA number 175495, and I'm going to do an in the bag here today with you. This is my first video, so hopefully it goes well. Hopefully I make some more videos and I get some subscribers, some followers, and you guys follow my journey. So first off, a little bit about me. I started this year in 2024 as a 904 rated disc golfer, and from there I've moved my way up now at the end of my season. Going into November here, I don't plan on playing any more sanctioned events. My last rating update, I was 949 rated, and I'll have one more rating update that should be in the positive going into the off season. So after, you know, countless bag swaps, things in and out of my bag, kind of trying to dial it in to the best that I possibly could over the year. So I figured I would do a in the bag for the end of season, based on, you know, my performance that I had this year. I felt like I did quite well, and I wanted to share what discs I used through the season rather than what discs I thought I was going to use with in the bag at the beginning of the season. So I thought this would be interesting. My first thing I'll go over is obviously putters, because everybody likes to start with the putter, so let's just do that. Or let's start with the bag. I have a Squatch bag, the Calvin Heimberg edition. I love it. I do wish that I got the smaller one now, just because I don't carry that many discs when I'm playing tournaments. I'll take discs out of my bag and just to loosen the load and just kind of, or lighten the load. And so I wish I got the smaller one, but I jumped on this one right when it came out back in April 2023, and it is held up. I got it right away. Everybody asks me about the condition of the bag itself, and like, it's always on the ground. My home course is rock everywhere. So we have gravel roads, we have mountains, and my bag's constantly just being thrown on the ground and picked up. And so for a year and a half, let's say, actually a little bit more than a year and a half, I've been using the Squatch bag, and I play about 2, sometimes 3 rounds a day, and I'm not easy on my equipment. I use my equipment. I go through shoes, I go through a pair of shoes every 3 months. So having something that will last, it means a lot. The Squatch bag lasts. So the only wear that I've had on the bag is on the straps. They've started to fray a little bit. Maybe I'll take a video and a little close-up of how they've frayed, but it's still not that bad. I don't have, you know, stuffing coming out or anything yet. It has held up really, really well. And then the bottom of the bag now has dog hair on it, but there's just a little bit of fraying around the edges where they put the hard plastic in there. Other than that, the bag itself on the bottom, where it's all over the ground, it's held up. It has not started to fray. It still looks durable. So, alright, little dog interruption there. So the bag itself, what I actually end up holding in the bag isn't very much. This pocket here usually has a towel in it, and that's really it. That's where my water bottles go, snacks. That's kind of just, I don't really utilize the big side pouches. Another reason why maybe you should have gotten a smaller bag. This side here, again, it's supposed to have the cooler in there. I took the cooler out. I don't even put more discs in there. I really just leave that open for more towels, for chalk bag, if I use one, which I rarely do. They're actually stored up with my putters. So those bags or those pockets are really just snacks. Making sure that I'm hydrated and I've got all the protein and everything to carry me through the round. That's what I use the side pockets for. The cell phone holder here, love it. I think it's super easy. You know, it's not really loud when you're using it, which is nice. If you want to grab your phone when someone's putting, you can still do that. The pockets on the side here, I'll use these pockets for all sorts of things like mosquito repellent and lotion, some Voltaren, something like that, muscle rub, Tiger Balm. Again, don't really use the side pockets. Sometimes I'll put like a warm-up bandage in there and I'll use that to warm up. But I do like the side zippers where they have a little tab on the bottom where you can just grab and pull them up. On this side here, I do use this pocket for my rangefinder, and it's just a nice loose little pocket where I can just throw my rangefinder in easy. And again, these side pockets I don't really use. They're this one here. Sometimes I'll put my headphones in them. It has a knife and a lighter just in case I need to burn off or cut off a piece of plastic that's bothering me. There's nothing else in there. I've got one of my ace tags in here from hole 18 at Naked Acres, so that's cool. That's a really special moment. And then on the side here, I've just got some patches and a button, more patches. This pocket here is where I like to put my mini. That way I don't have it in my pocket. I can just grab it out of my bag when I'm grabbing my putters. I also have a couple extra minis in the top pouch here where I can just easily grab them if I do, which I often will show up to a tournament without a mini and I find myself borrowing minis. So I try and stuff minis in my putter pouches in these side pockets here as much as I can so that I'm not having to run out and find myself in a weird position when I'm starting a tournament again. There's also this front flap here. I put a couple of my putters in there, and we'll get to those putters because those putters are really special. Those are my favorite discs in the bag, I think, are these guys right here. They're very special to me. So we'll get to those. Other than that, I carry most of the time only 4 discs in the top pouch here, which are my putters. We'll start here. This is my beat-in warped Sake Bomb Slammer. I love these discs. These are my throw it hard and they just go. They go nice and straight and a reliable finish for me after I've beaten them in, and these ones are just absolutely reliable for me. I have lost a couple of them in the past and those ones were super special to me. So I love these. I love the slammer, which I have a second slammer here, which it's a Stillwoods Camp stamped slammer. They have a course there. It's a really amazing course. It's on I believe it's a Bible camp property, but their course is absolutely phenomenal, and they host tournaments there, which I have a couple things like the Cultus Lake Classic Flapjack Mini as mementos from there. It's a really good time, and the people there down in that area are great. So love my slammers. And next up here in my putters is the anode. This is the Danode, and just want to say, you know, I have to say it, I was using the anode before Simon started to use the anode, so it's the Danode. This guy here has been in my bag for a couple years now, and it is warped, and it's absolutely understable, but it's so much fun. It's a great disc for when you want to just steep uphill, 200-foot shot where you can just throw it as hard as you want on hyzer. It flips up to flat and just slowly rides up the hill, usually dead straight when doing that. So this is also a big get out of jail disc for me. I love throwing it on a hyzer hard and watching it flip up, burn over, and carry it generally to where I want it to go. This is one of my favorite discs in my bag, specifically this one, which brings me to some of my other favorite discs in my bag, which is my anodes. These are my putters. These guys have done me well. So for a few years I've been using these specific guys, and I've been using these specific putters, and these have won me a lot of tournaments. They've won me 9 sanctioned PDGA tournaments, and I'm still using them to this day. They're flat, they're reliable. These are my favorite putters that Electron firm anode. These are money. And since we're still on putters, you know what? I'm gonna skip over the other pouch that I have in my bag, my favorite putters that are down here, my throwing putters. We're gonna skip over those for now. We're gonna move on into my mid-ranges. Drop. Drop. Up. Lay down. You stay. Stay. All right. Sorry, another dog interruption there. So we're gonna move on to my mid-ranges. In here, I have just put this disc in the bag. I'm kind of working between this one and another one. I just returned my friend's Glow Mana that I've been using for a while, and I beat it in and it was working really well for me, but I returned it back to him so that he could get the magic out of that disc. And so I ended up winning a raffle, and the next day after giving him back his disc, I won a raffle and I won this sweet Canadian Nationals 2023 Mana, Glow Mana. So I'm going to be cycling this into the bag for this off season, and hopefully it makes it into my next season in 2025, because I love throwing the Mana. You throw it on hyzer, it'll flip up and hit the line that you need. Great in the woods. Hitting lines is the Mana's purpose in my bag. Next up's a fun disc. This one here is really fun. So me and my friend Adam, we play for this disc. This is our championship disc. It's our trophy. Anytime we play each other, the hammer is most likely going to be on the line, with a couple added rules, but this is the hammer from Yicken Discs. This thing doesn't get thrown much in my bag anymore, but at one point I was really loving this thing. It's more understable than what it says, and it goes farther than what it says too. It's a 2.503, but I would give this more like a 4.3 -1 2. This thing bombs when you actually start ripping on it. It's got this weird double thumb track, and me and Adam got this disc for $10, and this has been our 2024 championship trophy between each other, so this is fun. Alright, I put this guy here in the bag recently, and I don't really like it. It feels clunky in my hand. It's getting cycled out of my bag here soon. So not much to say about this one. It's an MD3 from Discmania. Probably not going to make it into my bag for next year. And that brings me to my next disc though, which might make it into my bag for next year. I just picked this one up at the NADGT event that I played on this past weekend, and this one here is a EMAC Truth. I've never thrown an EMAC Truth, and I've never even really held one, so I'm really excited for this. I've heard so much good things about the EMAC Truth, so it feels good in the hand. And essentially what I want this to be is my slightly stable, overstable fairway, mid-range. I'm not sure what it actually will be in my bag, because again, I've never thrown it. I've never held one until just this past weekend. So we'll see what this is like when I bring it to the field or bring it to the course and actually throw it. All right, so here we have 3 varieties of the hex from Axiom. This one here is one of my favorites in the bag. It is super understable. This guy here is pretty much a detour at this point now. It's got this really cool Smart Shopper logo, which it's an old store, that grocery store or convenient type store that used to sell discs. They've moved on and they now have a location called Just for Fun in Penticton, BC. You can also buy discs online from them, so check out Just for Fun, and these Smart Shopper stamped ones were money. Here we have the Space Race from 2022 Glow Hex. This guy here is more my straight hex. It's not really overstable like most glow plastic is said to be. It's just my straighter hex. And then we have my 2024 Naked Acres hex. This run I really liked. It started out more overstable than most of the hexes that I've had, and I've now worked it into being able to throw it flat, hard, at objects, and it will carry drift to the right just a little bit, and then it will fade back in. This one, when I'm approaching a hole that's around 320 feet, I'm going to go with the hex to just line it up and rip on it, hopefully be in circle. Alright, and then for my overstable mid-range, this one's been in my bag for about 4 years, 3 years now, however many years I've been playing disc golf. I started in 2021 and I bought this disc. I actually got this disc for free, and it's been in my bag. It's a double stamp Justice from that time. I have another one as well, and these guys here are absolutely money. It does not fly like a Justice. This goes straight with a reliable finish for me, and I can rely on this for 280 feet, and yeah, I love the Justice. It's a great disc. It doesn't skip far. Alright, on to my fairways. So recently I lost a crave off of a cliff, which every single crave I've ever owned somehow finds itself way off of a cliff, never to be seen again. So I've stopped buying craves, I think. We'll see. And we have so I need to fill a gap in my fairways from the 6 speeds probably to the 8 speeds. And so if you guys have any recommendations from the 6 speeds to the 8 speeds, that's not a crave, I would love to hear it, because that's a gap in my bag that I'm noticing that I have, because I jumped from the Hex and the Justice, which are 5 speeds I believe, all the way to a Roadrunner, which is a 9. Roadrunner, it's a 9 speed, -4, 1. This is my flippy, going uphill, slight hyzer, nose down, and it will ride uphill, turn to the right. It's roller disc. It's a road runner. It's great. It's fun. Lots of fun. And this run was a little bit more overstable, I've heard, than other road runners, so I like it. It's just recently back in the bag from a current tournament that I played where I had to play in the woods, and I just felt like this was going to be a disc that would help me succeed in that tournament. The other disc that I have is a Savant. Halo Savant. I just put this in the bag, 9.5 minus 1.2, and this one is really fun. It goes far, it goes straight, and I have been learning to rely on this one a lot. Before this disc, I was just really throwing my Felons a lot, and with that I'm getting a lot more of a left finish when throwing those, so now having the Savant in the bag, I feel like I'm getting less left finish and being able to maintain in that circle 2, or just on the fairway. So the Savant, I actually really recommend this guy. Then here we have 2 Moonshine Orbit Felons. The black stamp guy is a little bit more flippy than my red stamp Felon. It's a little older, but both of these, and maybe even a little bit flatter. But both these guys are my go-to fairway drivers. I can rip on these hard, they flip up, and they actually do get a right little bit of drift, and then reliable finishes. I absolutely love the Felon, but the Felon in this plastic specifically is money. I would love more of this run. This is when it first came out. This is their first Moonshine Orbit. So if you guys know anybody who has some of these, let me know. Alright, and still on the Felon train, we have the Eric Oakley Glimmer Moonshine, or Chameleon, or I guess Glimmer, Moonshine, Chameleon, all those things maybe. This thing is just so beefy, very reliable, and if I want to throw a nice spike hyzer with the Felon, this is what I'm going to be throwing. Big skips. This is such a fun disc to throw and have in the bag, but it's a very serious tool in my bag. I absolutely love this. This is actually the disc I got the ace at Naked Acres in Vernon, BC. I got the ace on hole 18 with this big spike hyzer over a bunch of birch trees. Absolutely beautiful ace, and I love this disc. Moving on to my orcs. So I have 2 orcs. These guys here are my main drivers. This is if I'm, 400-foot hole, I'm throwing the orc. I'm throwing it hard on hyzer. It's going to flip up for me, ride to the drift to the right, and finish. I can't say enough about how much I love the orc. This custom stamp here, or custom die, by me, of me, so this guy here is a great disc when it's stuck in the trees and it's peering back at me, being able to keep me in a really positive, happy mindset when I'm playing, just looking at my disc. It really helps me play when I'm having fun playing disc golf. This is how I have fun playing disc golf. This one here is my more stable orc, a little bit windier days, or just more, I guess if I'm throwing a turnover or something with the orc, this one's not going to hold it as long. It's going to fight back a little bit quicker. Speaking of orcs, I also just picked up this here Pro Line pre-flight number orc. Never been thrown. Absolutely money. It's grippy, nice and fingerprinty. It's super nice. 172 grams. This guy is probably going to make my bag, and we'll see how it ends up flying. Alright, and for the last little bit here, my drivers. So I have my flippy driver, which is the Tenacity in the Made in the US Special Edition run. I used to have 3 of these. My really flippy one I lost and it was never returned to me. This one has become my flippy one now, and it's absolutely a beautiful disc. If I want to throw a big backhand turnover with a little bit of fade at the end, it's going to be the Tenacity. I love this disc here. I love all my discs. And because I've lost my recent Destroyer, which was I think my first disc I ever bought, of course, and I just recently played the Canadian Nationals in Wells Grey and Clearwater, British Columbia. I ended up losing my favorite Destroyer that I had. The Saki bought Destroyer. It was beat in, seasoned perfectly, threw it in a pond, never to be seen again. Still gonna be upset about that one, but I've got these 2. So first off, I've got this, found this at Play It Again Sports. It's a Ricky Wysocki Destroyer. This one here is nice and flat. I do like flat discs more than domey discs. These guys here, this one here, this run is absolutely nice. I can't say it. Nice hyzers, low shots, anything with this guy here. And this one here is my newer Felon. It is probably a little, it's still flat. It is my Destroyer, which is dyed with Felon on it, just so that I can match my other Felons. So when I pull this out of the bag, it's, for me, again, it's another thing that makes me laugh when I pull something out of my bag. And when I'm laughing on the course, I'm playing well. And I think that that's... All right, and then oh no, that doesn't conclude the in the bag. I almost forgot. My favorite discs in the bag. Just gonna have to take the time. If you liked this video, if you liked hearing about my discs, if you want to hear about these discs, or watch some cool VHS tapes, like and subscribe. My channel's here for me to see if I can gain a little following behind me. I'm going to be playing in the Amateur World Championships that takes place in Missouri. So if this can help, showcase what I'm doing to the people that are interested in following my journey, then maybe I'll keep making some videos, and we'll see how much my bag has changed going into that season, 2025, and see if I make any adjustments over the winter time. I'm going to add in a bunch of videos of me playing. We'll see what kind of things I come up with. I have no idea. This is new to me. I never thought that I would be talking in front of a camera. I don't know how to talk in front of a camera. So any tips, any comments are absolutely helpful. So back to in the bag here. I forgot, under this flap here, I hold this Crush Cub. These tournaments are amazing. The tournament directors are amazing that hold these events. And this guy here is a little knee cushion. So when you're in like rocky position and you need to take a knee, you're able to actually use this. It is PDGA legal, and it is also PDGA legal to be a mini. So if I ever forget a mini, I got this too. And in this little pouch here, I also keep my chalk bags, just a Dynamic Discs one. That's all nice and powdery if I ever need it. I rarely use those though. Alright, and into the final. Here we have a MVP plasma anode. This is a patent pending plasma anode. I don't know when they stopped making these. I bought it off of eBay. I want more of them. I absolutely love this plastic. I love this, the way it feels in my hand, the flight of it. This disc is, I can't say enough. It's one of my favorite discs in the bag. The other one of my favorite discs in my bag is the Proton anode. This one here has a puddle top to it. It's fully understable. It's beautiful for backhand turnovers, big high backhand turnovers, watching them pan out, get out of jail. It's similar to my blue anode that I like to toss around. So between the two, it is sometimes a little bit of a decision which one's smart to use, but this one here is going to be more reliable than this guy. This is the wild card. So these two patent pending anodes, you know, these are my favorite discs in the bag. They've been with me. They've been with me for this past season, and I can't wait to bring them forward into my next season. So, alright guys, thanks for watching my In the Bag. Hopefully you found it entertaining. Hopefully you liked my selection of discs. If you did, leave the comments below, subscribe. Hopefully I can make more videos talking about the discs or anything else, and you guys can follow my journey as I end up training and traveling towards Missouri so that I can end up playing in the 2025 Amateur Worlds. So, peace.